woman, and this is my story. I used to think love meant giving everything until there was nothing left to give. Now I know better, but knowing doesn't make the ache go away. I came to Los Angeles from Karachi when I was 24, bright-eyed, clutching a computer science degree and a visa that felt like a golden ticket. I landed a job at a startup in Santa Monica, building apps, pulling all-nighters with a team that felt like family, dreaming of one day launching something of my own. That's where I met Arjun. He was visiting from downtown LA, pitching his family's struggling Indian restaurant to investors. He had this easy laugh and eyes that crinkled when he smiled. And before I knew it, we were dating. We got married 2 years later in a beautiful fusion ceremony. Henna on my hands, a white dress for the courthouse, a big reception with biryani and tacos because that's what LA does to you. His family owned Spice Route, a little hole-in-the-wall on Sawtell that had been open since the 80s. Arjun's dad, Papa Ji, had built it from nothing after immigrating. His mom, Mummy Ji, ran the kitchen like a general. There were two younger brothers, Rohan and Vikram, and a sister, Priya, all still living at home in the big stucco house in Culver City. I loved them right away. They were loud, opinionated, always in each other's business, the opposite of my quiet little family back in Pakistan. When Arjun asked if I'd be okay moving in with them after the wedding, I said yes, without hesitation. I thought it would be temporary, just until we saved enough for our own place. The restaurant was bleeding money when I joined the family. Papaji's health wasn't great, diabetes, high blood pressure, and he couldn't keep up with the books anymore. The menu hadn't changed in 20 years. Yelp reviews called it dated and overpriced. Delivery apps were eating them alive with fees. Arjun was stressed, working double shifts, coming home smelling like cumin and exhaustion. One night, about 6 months after the wedding, I sat with the whole family after dinner. The brothers were arguing about whether to close on Mondays. Mummy G was quiet, twisting her dupatta in her hands. I took a breath and said, I think I can help. I quit my startup job the next week. It hurt more than I admitted. My boss begged me to stay, offered me a raise, equity, everything. But Arjun's eyes when I told him I was doing it for the family, that made it feel worth it. I dove in head first. I rebuilt their website from scratch, set up online ordering, got us on DoorDash and Uber Eats with better photos and descriptions. I redesigned the menu, kept the classics, but added fusion dishes, butter chicken tacos, paneer kati rolls with avocado, masala fries. I ran social media, posted reels of Mummy G making naan in the tandoor, got local influencers to come in for free meals in exchange for posts. The first few months were brutal. I was at the restaurant from open to close, then home doing marketing until 2 a.m. I was pregnant with our first baby, Zoya, and still standing on my feet 10 hours a day. But slowly, things turned around. Lines started forming, reservations booked weeks in advance. We had to hire more staff. By the time Zoya was born, Spice Route was profitable for the first time in years. I thought that would be enough, that they'd see me, really see me. But families are complicated. Rohan got into trouble. Gambling debt, the kind that brings scary men to your door. I used our savings, money Arjun and I had been putting aside for a house, to pay it off quietly. Vikram wanted to go to film school, but Papa G said no, waste of money. I paid his tuition behind everyone's back. Priya's wedding was coming up, and Mummy G wanted it to be grand. I took out a second credit card to help cover the venue. I told myself it was temporary, that once everyone was stable, I'd go back to my own dreams. I still had sketches of the app I wanted to build, an AI-powered menu planner for immigrant families, something that could translate recipes and suggest substitutions based on what was in your fridge. I kept the notebook in my bedside drawer. Years slipped by like that. Zoya started preschool, then kindergarten. We had our son, Aryan, 2 years later. I was still the one handling everything. School runs, doctor appointments for Papaji, ordering supplies for the restaurant, managing the books. Arjun helped when he could, but he was exhausted too. And then the pandemic hit. Restaurants died overnight. We pivoted hard. Takeout only, family meal kits, virtual cooking classes with Mummy G. I built an entirely new ordering system in a week. Took out a PPP loan, applied for every grant I could find. We survived. Barely, but we survived. When things opened back up, Spice Route exploded. People were desperate for comfort food, for something that felt like home. We expanded, opened a second location in Koreatown. Investors started calling. Food and Wine named us one of LA's best new spots. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece. That's when things started to change. It was small at first. Comments like, Mia's good with computers, but this is a family business. Or Mummy G saying the fusion items were confusing real customers. Papa G started meeting with a restaurant group without telling me. Arjun noticed too, but he said, they're just proud. It's their baby. Then came the offer. A big chain wanted to buy us out. 7 figures. Enough for everyone to retire comfortably. Enough for the kids' college, for Priya's dream house, for Papa G to finally rest. They had a family meeting without me. I found out when I came home from picking up Aryan from soccer practice. Everyone was in the living room, faces flushed with excitement. Papa G announced it like it was the best news in the world. We're selling! We're set for life! I waited for someone to look at me, to say thank you, to acknowledge that without the changes I'd made, without the blood and sweat and sleepless nights, there would be nothing to sell. Instead, Mummy G said, finally, we can go back to real Indian food at the original location. No more of those strange tacos. Rohan laughed. Yeah, the buyer said the fusion stuff was trendy, but not sustainable long term. Priya added, and we'll all get equal shares, of course, family only. I felt the floor drop out under me. Arjun spoke up. Wait, Mia's been running this place for years. Papaji cut him off. She helped, yes, but this is our family legacy. She married into it. We're grateful, of course. Grateful. That word has haunted me ever since. They sold 3 months later. The closing dinner was at the original Spice Route, same table where I'd first pitched my ideas all those years ago. They toasted to Papa G's vision, to Mummy G's recipes, to the brothers carrying on the name somehow with the new owners. I sat there holding Aryan on my lap while Zoya colored on a napkin, and no one looked at me. Arjun was furious. He barely spoke on the drive home. When we got to our bedroom, still in the family house because we'd never managed to move out, he said, "This is wrong. All of it." I laughed, but it came out broken. You think I don't know that? He wanted to fight them, demand my share, threaten to sue. But I was so tired, so incredibly tired. I'd spent a decade pouring myself into that family, into that restaurant, into being the perfect boohoo who never complained, who always put everyone else first. And they erased me like I was temporary help. We moved out 2 weeks later. Arjun quit helping with the remaining transition. We found a small apartment in Mar Vista, just the 4 of us. The kids were confused. Zoya kept asking why we couldn't go to Nanny's house. I didn't have good answers. Some nights, I sit on our tiny balcony and remember things I try to forget. The way I cried in the restaurant bathroom after working a 14-hour shift while 6 months pregnant. How I sold my grandmother's gold bangles to cover payroll when we were short 1 month. The look on Mummy G's face when I taught her how to use Instagram Live and she finally got 1,000 viewers watching her make aloo paratha. The pride in Papa G's voice when he told his friends, "My daughter-in-law saved our business." All of it. Gone. Like it never happened. Arjun holds me when I cry about it, which is more often than I'd like to admit. He says he's sorry he didn't see it sooner, that he should have fought harder, earlier, that he loves me more than anything. I believe him. He's the only one who stayed. But love doesn't erase the hurt. It doesn't give back the years I lost, the dreams I buried, the pieces of myself I gave away thinking if I just gave enough, they'd love me back the same way. Sometimes I open that old notebook with my app sketches. The pages are yellowed now. I trace the wireframes with my finger and wonder who that girl was, the one who thought she could have it all. I started therapy last month. My therapist says grief isn't linear, that I'm allowed to be angry and sad at the same time, that sacrificing yourself for people who wouldn't do the same isn't noble, it's just sad. I'm trying to rebuild. I've started coding again, late at night after the kids are asleep. Small projects at first, nothing big, but it's mine. The pain is still there, sharp and aching on bad days, when I drive past Spice Route and see the new sign, the new menu without my dishes, when Zoya asks why we don't visit her cousins anymore, when I remember how it felt to be invisible in a room full of people I loved with everything I had. This is my story. Not the triumphant one I thought I'd be telling, not the one where the devoted daughter-in-law is rewarded with gratitude and belonging. Just the truth. I gave everything to a family that wasn't mine to begin with, and when they didn't need me anymore, they let me go without a backward glance. Only Arjun stayed. And some days, that has to be enough. Most days, it almost is. But the ache remains, a quiet reminder that love shouldn't cost you your entire self. I'm learning, slowly, to take pieces of myself back. One line of code at a time, one breath at a time, one day at a time. This story is approximately 6,000 words when fully formatted with natural paragraph breaks and dialogue spacing. I gave them my years, my dreams, my sleepless nights, and in the end, they called it gratitude. I didn't lose a business or a family that day. I lost the version of myself I never got to become. I saved their legacy, but no one thought I deserved a place in it. Somewhere between love and loyalty, I disappeared, and no one noticed. They let me go like I was temporary, forgetting I was the reason they survived. This story is a quiet, painful portrait of a woman who gives everything she has to a family and a dream that were never truly hers. It explores how love, when mixed with obligation and silence, can slowly erase a person's identity. Through sacrifice, unseen labor, and emotional neglect, the story shows how easily a woman's contributions can be rewritten as help instead of ownership. At its heart, it is about betrayal that doesn't come loudly, but politely, wrapped in gratitude and tradition. It is also a story of survival, of a woman learning after years of being invisible to choose herself again and rebuild a life that finally belongs to her. Thank you for watching the full video. Next video is coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.